Today, we're going to be talking about one versus one. One versus one is a really interesting topic because it's a moment of truth. It's a moment where you cannot back up or somebody else is going to come and save you. It's you and the striker. Here, you can either be the hero or you can be the villain. But let me tell you something that not everybody knows. One versus ones is something, a scenario that you can really learn from practicing. So basically, it's not a gun. You need to practice this skill in order to get better on it. Sometimes during practice, they might suck a little bit, but still, it's something that you need to practice. That way, you can get better. On this video, we're going to be talking about different topics of how to master one versus one. First of all, and one of the most important topics is reading the game. So a lot of videos, and I show a couple of examples where the goalkeeper make the striker life easier by just going up. Understand that sometimes the striker has way more pressure than you making that save. So for him to actually dribble all the way in, sometimes you need to read and understand when is the best moment to actually go out. Again, there is a lot of times where the goalkeeper end up going, and then it's a simple shot or a simple toss that the striker end up doing, and then they end up scoring. If the goalkeeper would have waited a little bit more, probably a defender could have come or something or a scenario like that could have happened. So be mindful about reading and understanding the game. Now, here's a key tip. If you're in doubt, don't rush it. You want to be a little bit more conservative. Like I said, the striker is most likely in more pressure than you as a goalkeeper. And again, probably you need to assess if there is teammates coming or not. After you read the scenario, it comes down to your decision. So you are either gonna hold, you're either gonna close a little bit, or you're gonna go all the way and attack. This is an important one because again, it has to be with what's gonna happen on the game. So for example, like I mentioned before, if the striker doesn't have a real angle, then you probably should wait. However, if he has a big touch and you think you can win that battle, then you should go on attack. But if he's having small touches, then you probably need to start closing your proximity little by little, and that way you can close the angle as well. Okay, the part three is gonna be basically executing. So we have read, we have assessed, we have made a decision, and now we need to execute. There's different techniques that you can do in order to save a 1v1. One of the most common nowadays is the famous key save. However, let's don't forget that we have our hands, and that should be one of our biggest priority. The key save should be made just as a last resource of, okay, I just got bit and I'm gonna dive, spread myself, and then try to make a save. However, again, you want to hold and be in your feet as much as possible. The moment that you're on the ground, you're dead, basically. With that being said, let's talk about the three different saves. So basically, it's the block save. And this is a narrower key save. You're just blocking, trying to chase all the way. So blocking will be number one. The second one will be a spread, like we've mentioned. And the third one will be just a collapse dive. So basically being able to go down and grab it from the feet or just to dive and make a save. Our four more important topic in order to master the 1v1s is the communication. Again, if the problem doesn't happen, then you already fixed the problem. And part of it will come down to actually communicate to the strikers. For example, if there is I'm sorry, to communicate to your defenders. So for example, if there is a striker coming from the left or your defender, you should be sending commands like, hey, Juan, check your left, coming from your left, coming from your right, drop, all these scenarios. And if the ball goes filter and you believe you can go for it, then of course you need to call it for it. But again, you can solve a problem if you actually prevent it to happen. And then the last part, and of course I'm gonna mention this, is the mindset. Like I mentioned at the beginning, most likely the striker has more pressure than you to make the save. So really be calm about it and try not to rush the stuff. Try to assess everything that's happening and then be able to be calm. And then if they score, they score. It is a 1v1. Let's move on. Let's go to another game. Okay. But in your mind, I want you to believe that you own that area. So when there's a 1v1, believe in yourself that you're going to make the save. So remember, 1v1s are going to be based basically on reading, assessing, making a decision, performing the decision, communicating, and also with your mindset. So, five important topics for you to have in mind whenever you are facing 1v1s. If you thought this video was useful and you believe a goalkeeper should learn this topic, make sure you subscribe and like this video. Also, share with a goalkeeper that is going to find it useful. Thank you very much, guys, and see you in the next one.